The 7 counts of first-degree murder are just the first wave of charges that will be filed against Robert Crimo III. That's according to the Lake County State's Attorney, Rinehart.
And he joins us this morning with more on the charges and what's to come. We do want to say good morning to you and thank you for joining us.
Good morning. I want to continue to express my condolences, our office's condolences for the families who've lost loved ones, those who are injured, and the entire Highland Park community. We will never be the same. I'm a Highland Park resident. It's devastating. It's been devastating.
It's a big week for you in terms of what you've trained to do and what people are expecting from you. So what's the latest on the investigation?
The investigation is still active and ongoing. I would encourage anyone who has information about Robert Crimo III or any information about his digital or online information to contact the Highland Park Police Department. The investigation is still active and ongoing as we go through a mountain of evidence. And we could file charges. Oh, go ahead.
No, and I was just going to ask you about the charges. That was going to lead me into that question, which is let's talk about the charges that are currently filed and what future charges can be filed as more information has been gathered.
Yeah, thank you. We filed 7 counts of first-degree murder, the intentional killing of individuals. That's just the beginning of the process. That's just the beginning of the charges. It allowed us to make an argument to hold him without bail, which we were successful at. And there will be a charge, many charges for each individual victim. Every victim deserves justice in this case. If somebody was injured by gunfire, there'll be an attempt murder as well as aggravated battery with a firearm. And there will be other charges regarding aggravated discharge of a firearm and attempt murder of other people who weren't injured. Every victim deserves justice, and we are going to file several charges related to each and every victim.
Mr. Rinehart, a question that keeps coming up as well. A lot of people are wondering, will his father potentially face any charges?
Yeah, I don't want to comment too much on that right now. The investigation is still ongoing, and the investigation sort of moves outward in terms of the level of planning and the level of information that other people had and what the level of risk was that other people were aware of.
You know what, in one of your briefings, you talked about the 10-year period where there was a ban on assault rifles. Can you talk a little bit more about your expectation or your hopes for gun control as we move forward?
Yeah, thank you. My hope is that there are no more victims. My hope is that no other community goes through the devastating 3 days that we have had. We should have an assault weapon ban in Illinois and in the United States. He was able to legally and easily purchase this weapon in Lake County. We need to ban these weapons. He's 21, he is unstable, and he was able to get this very easily. So I believe that to protect lives in Lake County and beyond, we should have an assault weapon ban. That's what I believe. It was successful for 10 years. It was bipartisan. It had the support of law enforcement, and I know we can do it again.
All right, Mr. Rinehart, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We may have to call on you again, but thank you for what you're doing to ensure there's justice for all of the people who are out there.
Thank you very much.